Hello, my fellow Americans. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. Day after Christmas. I hope you've all enjoyed the holiday, met with some family and friends, shared some gifts and meal. And I've been thinking about our situation here in the US of A. And I talked to a lot of people, discussing politics and current events. And doesn't really seem like much of a solution. I listen to talk radio and, stuff gets bantered about back and forth. And I got to thinking, we really need a good leader. And, what qualities you would want. Like Dr. Ben Carson, they talk about him, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get enough votes. And then I got to thinking, who would really serve us best? And then I came up thinking that possibly if we elected an Amish person as president. But then I realized an Amish person could never be elected president. Well, and there's many reasons, and if I forget any, I hope in your replies you add to the list. Well, number one, they believe in God. And with the attack on Christianity we have in this country by the media and all, I think that alone would make them unelectable. And then they have a strong work ethic. And I think that they would want to see people work rather than just sit around and get handouts. So I think they would lose a lot of votes there too. They wouldn't allow people to go and get food stamps. I think they would say, well, get out there in the fields and plow and plant and weed and water and harvest. And then you have something to eat. And the homeless and people needing shelter, they go, well, you come out here, you help Jeremiah build a barn, and you help, Elijah build a barn, and we'll help you build a barn or a house. And then the whole thing about, health care and birth control, they wouldn't have any party to that either. They'd say, nope, a man and a woman, they only get together after they get married. So you see, I just don't think the Amish guy would have a chance running for election, even though he probably served the country well, because I think they mind their own business. They wouldn't be sticking our business in other countries' business. And we want to clean up our own backyard and keep people out that aren't believers, and people that don't believe in the Constitution and the way this country was founded. And as far as taxes go, I think they figured out you get to keep what you earn, except maybe what you tithe, 10%. And then all these other social things, they would just not have any of it. So the things that used to be considered perverse, that are now considered okay and mainstream, they just wouldn't have any toleration for that kind of stuff. So I just don't think an Amish person could get elected president. Just don't. And for that matter, I don't think George Washington could get elected, or Ben Franklin could get elected, or John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Alexander Hamilton. I don't think any of those guys could get elected today. Not with some of the things they believed in. Well, of course they owned slaves, so that would go against them. But, just their beliefs in life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. About working, work ethic. See, all those principles that the country were founded on are being just pushed aside. Because, you know, we've got to have some hope and change here. And you know, I know, and I know I'm pretty much preaching to the choir here. I don't think there's, unless somebody, this is their very first video of mine that they're watching, somehow they just stumbled upon it. I'm just preaching to the choir here. But I'm thinking that just maybe I can say something that triggers a thought in somebody else, and it just, you know, has a little ripple effect. Because many times I think I could just sit up here on the hill, just not worry about it all. But that just doesn't seem right. So I think the best thing to do is just keep the discussion alive. Get people talking about it. Get people thinking about what's going on with this country and how we can right it. Because we know we're heading down the wrong path. You know, we're getting ready to go over the cliff. This nonsense just can't continue. It really can't. And it's funny because, you know, they talk about the haves and the have-nots, the rich and the poor, and the rich just keep getting richer. Well, that's just the nature, because it's kind of like a snowball effect. After you get so rich, then the money just keeps pouring in at a rate faster than you really can reasonably spend it. I mean, think about it. You know, they always say the second million's easier than the first, and there's some truth to that. But back to the main point. I just don't think an Amish person with their values and beliefs could be elected president. I mean, they're not consumers really. And we're all programmed to consume like crazy. You know, Black Friday, day before Christmas, the parking lots at the shopping malls are just filled with people spending money, some of which money they don't even have. Easy credit. See, I don't think the Amish would stand for that. That's not what they would teach. So, once again, thanks for watching, and thank you for listening. And if you haven't, please subscribe so you can hear more of these. Pass it on to your friends and family. Just keep the discussion going. Because, my fellow Americans, we really need to wake up, smell the tyranny.